We are going live. Hey, everybody, it's showtime. Showtime, and I'm a giant nerd. All right.
Do. Oh, yeah.
Ready to go live. Hello, everybody. It's a dinosaur. His name's Rex and blah, 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 bloop. Do. Yeah! Tonight's live stream is sponsored by Paketo, Castle Siege, Starforge, and Blessed Dark hit Kickstarter October 15th.
All right.
Hello, amazing people.
We're looking for Rex. Where's Rex?
Oh my goodness! Thank you all for tuning in. I see we
here.
already have about
Okay,
7
we'll
people on here that tuned in tonight, and I am super excited. Oh, now it's 6. Oh, they saw my face, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, no, it's super excited. I get time to talk with my friend, Mr. Ken Franklin, who I have a great love and admiration for. That just comes from developing a friendship over time. I think we've gotten to know each other virtually for maybe a little less than a year, maybe.
Just about. We still have not met at cons, but that will happen.
No, we met once. We met once at one con. It was PAX Unplugged.
Okay.
PAX Unplugged, yeah. And you gave me a big warm hug. That's the one thing I remember, and it was great. It was a good embrace. But yeah, tonight it's 7:30 because I just got home from driving all the way from Virginia. So yeah. It was wild, but we'll talk about that probably after we're done with this.
Okay.
But yeah, the things I want to say about Ken Franklin right off the bat, if you have not gotten a chance to know him, you need to get to know him. He has made some amazing games. He's made the Mansky Caper through Calliope. He's worked on, Suro Phoenix Rising. He also has worked along with, Kevin Rogers and Chris Leader on Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. And then there's some more things in the works that I don't think all of us know yet, but I know you've been very excited about working on. So I will let you, if you decide to talk about it, you do. If not, I understand too. But I don't know. Every time that I get a chance, like if I'm down or if I'm just, even dealing with just anything, he is the one person that will just talk and breathe life into you, and he will breathe encouragement into you. And so I'm going to start off with that. But Mr. Ken Franklin, thanks for coming on today.
Well, I'm very honored and blessed to be with you, Chris. I really enjoy what you do, and I'm thrilled to be included in the list of people you've had on your show. Again, the disclaimer has to start. Everything I do well is thanks to God, and everything I screw up is my own fault. So.
Amen. Looks like we got a couple people with us tonight. We've got Brian. Brian, hey, what's up? How's everything going? I just drove 7 hours. So, and 2 of those, and then it was split up, and we saw the Lost World Caverns where Bat Boy, quote unquote, came from the National Enquirer. It was great. It was a good time. But I just got done from a little much needed de-stressing time with family where we spend time. So yeah, so look, hearts and flames, very cool. Yes, Allison and Daniel, hello. They're going to be on later with us tonight when we're playing Cinder with Kurt Covert from Smirk and Dagger Games. Imagineers too, right? Did you worked on Imagineers?
Yes, I did. Chris and I did that. There's the legendary Mike Perna dropping in. Hi, Mike. Good to see you.
Just popping in while work. All right, thanks, Mike. Yep, Justin's on here. Jaybird the Word, he'll be on as co-hosting with me tonight. And and Chris. Thanks, Justin. Thanks. But yeah, so Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what led you. Now, you served in the military.
Right.
You served as a medical doctor.
Right.
And so tell us a little bit about that process and how later on it became, hey, I'm going to start doing board game design. So I'm curious.
Well,
about that.
I started at age 5. My parents bought me a 52 game chest, which was this little box with a bunch of little components, bits and bobs. They didn't have meeples back then. This was in 1960, and but I liked making up games with the bits and bobs, and that started igniting a passion with me. And stayed with it. Designed games when I was bored in school, which was quite a lot, but it kept me from disrupting class, so the teachers tolerated it. But when I got to be a junior in high school, my dad said, "Well, you clearly want to go to college. How are you going to pay for it?" and so I said, "All right, well." I applied for a National Merit Scholarship, didn't get that. So my choices were the military academies and Army ROTC. So I went into Army ROTC, got a 4-year scholarship, went to Michigan State. And while I was there and my continued gaming and making up games, sold a couple of games there that I self-published in gallon Ziploc bags. But then I realized that, hello, Gamecasters. I said, well, there's not, people aren't going to hire me to make games, so I got to do something. And so I wanted to help people, so I decided to go into medical school. Went to the military medical school in Bethesda, Maryland, and started a 25-year career in the Army as a family physician. Retired from that in 2002. Moved to Vicksburg, Michigan, where I was a civilian family doc for 15 years, but I continued to collect games and play games. I had published 3 or 4 shareware games that we used to raise money for homeless micro grants while I was in the Army. I turned one of those into an iPhone app, made about $1,000 more bucks for the homeless there, and retired from medicine in 2017. And I said, okay, God, whatever you want me to do. And while I was praying about that, I kept getting distracted by things I was doing in the game industry. And I said, I'm sorry, God, I'm distracted. And he said, no, fool, this is where I want you to be. I said, I get to do this for a living? He said, yeah, go for it. And that's what led to the Mansky Caper and all the great relationships I've had at conventions with Calliope Games. I went to my first game convention at Gen Con in 2011 after my first wife passed from colon cancer. My son Matt, who's an amazing artist, had gotten a gig at Artist Alley. So I went there to help him run his booth, but I also had a game that was like 16 cards and some poker chips in a baggie. I had no idea what a sell sheet was. I had no idea what a pitch meeting was. I'd go around to the booth and say, hi, look at my game. And most of them dropped me off. Most of them blew me off. But Calliope actually gave me a pitch appointment on Sunday and signed it. And that's what became the Mansky Caper.
That's really awesome.
And they taught me the industry. Chris Leader, who is the designer of Roll For It, which has made just a little bit of money. He went to, I think they've sold out of like 4 or 5 printings of it. But he called me up one day. I said, I've always wanted to make a roller coaster game. You think you can help me get it over the finish line? And we had a working prototype in a month, pitched it at Origins, and Maple Games signed it there. And we just realized how much fun we had collaborating with each other, and that's what's led to the Zero Phoenix Rising and the Back to the Future Dice Through Time, and other projects that we will not speak of here because it is classified. Okay. And I would have to tear your head off and put it in a safe if I told you. So,
Okay. at some point, I know I'm going to at least get a chance to look at one of them. So
Yes.
I look forward to that. I look forward to that day. But yes, Ryan from Gamecasters is actually from the Michigan area. So
Yes, he
he
is.
says Michigan family unite. I'm sorry, I'm kind of more an Ohio type person, so I kind of root for Ohio. I'm glad that at least you're from
Excuse
Michigan.
me.
You went to
Excuse me.
Michigan
Hold
State.
on just a second. I have friends in the Air Defense Artillery. Yeah, predetermined
really?
coordinations for the good of the house.
Yeah,
Execute in 3 hours. Thank you. Over.
great,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Sorry.
Oh, did you seriously, Ryan? Go blue? Yeah. We may play a game of Among Us, but
Wait.
you know what's going to happen to you, Ryan?
Gamecaster said go blue.
Yeah, go blue.
He's
You're
dead
talking.
to me.
He's
dead to me now.
See, I would rather root for a Spartan than I would root for University of Michigan. That's true.
Well, you know
Right there.
how they make, you know what, how you make the green in Michigan State's colors. You
How do
mash
they make-
you mash maize and blue together until they're unrecognizable.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I have to
Okay.
remember that. You heard it.
Okay.
You heard it first, folks. That's what happens. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So what is something that you've been enjoying playing lately? Now, we of course can't talk about the games that you're working on, but what's something that you've enjoyed playing with Debbie or just with friends or family? I know we've had chances to play some virtual games, and I think we're playing one tonight, which will be
Yes.
a lot of fun, where we're trying to woo some dragons. So yeah,
Which
but
to me sounds like a high risk proposition. You know,
it
I
sounds
saw the
interesting.
movie. I saw the movie, My Super Ex-Girlfriend. I kind of
My
think
Super
dating
Ex-Girlfriend.
dragons would be something like that.
I've never seen My Super Ex-Girlfriend. I've heard of the show My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but I haven't seen either. So
Luke Wilson and
So
what's
Uma
her-
Thurman?
She was in and Uma Thurman. That's it.
I knew
It
that
also
Uma
had
Thurman was in it.
Eddie Izzard's in it too.
Really, Eddie Izzard. What does he do in that one? Who is he?
He's
A
the
good guy,
evil.
bad guy?
He's
Okay.
the evil master.
That makes sense. You know, usually in most American-made like superhero films, the enemy has some sort of an accent or some sort of bad guy thing, that type of deal. But craziness. Yeah, yes, there is a what? No uniting against this Buckeye. No,
Hey,
don't you dare.
hey, relax.
Wait, there's
And Daniel?
fucking the people. SEC. What is the SEC? Didn't hold on. Oh, I think Kids Planing's big fans of Alabama.
Silly
They're
elsewhere
big
colleges.
They're big fans of Alabama. That's what I heard.
Yes.
Kids Planning are diehard Alabama fans. Roll Tide. That's what they say every Saturday.
silly elsewhere colleges. That's what
craziness.
SEC stands for.
Oh, something tells me that Nightbot is currently got this thing talking about. Yeah, we've got on here. This is going to be on for later, but during the game streams. But yeah. Oh, so what has been a game that you've been enjoying lately?
Debbie and I really enjoy playing Terraforming Mars, Ticket to Ride, and Lords of Waterdeep on our pads.
Mm-hmm.
We sit next to each other on our iPads because setup time is 0.
Mm-hmm.
And so we enjoy those quite a bit. We do have one couple, another evidence of how overly blessed I am in my life. My best friend in medical school and my military career is Dr. Carl Kirchhoff. And he's a great family physician. When he retired from the Army, he was the chief consultant to the Surgeon General of the Army. Brilliant man. And he and his wife and Terry and I had been assigned together 5 times during our career. Well, when he retired from the Army, he retired 1.5 miles straight south of me. And so we have been able to continue to get together and play games as a contagion pod all through this pandemic. And I make pizza and we have a bottle of wine and we play games. And so we've been doing a lot of legacy games. We played Pandemic Legacy 1 and 2. We're doing My City. We just finished Chapter 6 in My City. I'm just this close to pulling the trigger on Clank Acquisitions Incorporated. Price tag's a little high, but still looks like a lot of fun.
Very cool. Clank. You know, I've seen some good stuff about Clank, and a lot of people love that game. I know we played Viticulture, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah,
you and I, we've played Viticulture together. I've had a lot of fun with that too. It's not a bad app.
Yeah.
I had to be taught how to play it well. The problem with a lot of app games is because you don't have another person interacting with you. Unless you hit it just right, you can't figure out how to play it well. And I sucked at it for the first 6 times I played it.
Yeah.
But you helped me out quite a bit there, Chris.
Well, I honestly didn't know how to play the game. And then the tutorial, that's the only thing I had a gripe on, was the tutorial felt more like I was reading the rule book than it was implementing and kind of hand-holding and stuff. So, yeah. For me, I think the big thing was I think the game was fun. I enjoyed playing it with you. The online interface was really well done, but I just could not do the what's it called? Yeah, the tutorial. Like I watched the Rules Girl, and I think I understood more in 3 minutes than I did in that tutorial.
Yeah.
So,
why does Kids Planning own the crawl at the bottom of the screen?
oh, because I'm messing with them right now because they are not Alabama fans at all.
Oh, okay,
So
good. All right.
That's their comment for teams outside of the SEC.
I approve this message.
Yeah, that's the only team I know about that's in the SEC. Auburn, I heard, is not that good, and I don't know any other teams. So yeah, Kids Planning loves Alabama. They love Alabama. What? No, we would never do that at all. Yeah, they just finally saw that since you mentioned it. Oh, it's so good. All right. Yeah, Pandemic Legacy Season 0. Machikoro, you said you got Pandemic Legacy Season 0?
I pre-ordered it. It's on its way. Machikoro Legacy we finished about a month ago, and it was all right. It was okay, but some of them. Now I tell you one game I was very disappointed in, and I won't. I have been to a real Scooby-Doo escape room at a local escape room here, and we played the box game over here, Escape from Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
and our gameplay of it was
really. See, when we play tested it, we loved it.
Yeah, it started off great, but the second half, it just fell apart.
Well, did you do the voices? That's what made it fun for us. We did the voices.
Well, they don't like to do the voices, so I was doing all the voices, and I mean, I actually had to explain to them what Jinkies meant.
Really?
Oh, that's why it wasn't quite so accessible.
Okay, because not everybody was really into Scooby-Doo. Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, I loved it because we did the voices.
You understand, Chris, that we are in a very large cosmos, and there are many, many themes and many streams of gameplay, and we must learn to appreciate them, even if we are not adjacent in our streams.
I don't understand that. No, I don't understand that. Me, I know the following. I know, zoinks! Like, I'm so scared, Scoob. Hey, Scooby-Doo, where are you? I'm over here, Raggy. Like, doing the voices with the kids made that so much fun. But yeah.
Don't make me sing the Barney song at you, Chris.
What did you get in this week? You got your copy? I guess they got their copy of Machikoro Legacy and Pandemic Season. Yeah, well, Season 0.
They are very, very much cooler than I am. That's why you guys have Season 0 and I don't.
This was already an open copy sent to me through Rado, which was really cool. But yeah, I was super excited when this came in the mail. The kids have been having a good time. He used this one for his video, and then he sent it over my way. And so, yeah, it's been a blast so far. We're gonna try to play it Sunday night because we're trying to do it every other 2 weeks or every other week, so it doesn't become too much. Because have you ever played a legacy game where it just felt like you were playing it way too much in so short of a time that you don't get to enjoy it as much?
No, because we usually meet with the Kerchiefs about every week and a half.
Okay.
And so it's at a very perfect pace we will play one legacy game, and then we'll play one new game. And lately the new game has pretty much always been Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Okay.
Because the four of us really love that game.
You and I need to play that over like either online or something sometime, because that's one I think you sent that to us, and so I think you did. Did you? I thought so. Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows? But we need
Oh,
to
man.
play it sometime too, though.
Sure.
Now that'd be a great game to have like a board game implementation of. So I would like to see that. But no, yeah, we did a review once where it was a legacy game, and we had to do the review within a course of 2 months. So we played 12 games in the course of 45 days, and we all liked the game. It just felt like sometimes it's like, all right, kids, we're going to try to knock this out tonight and and then we're going to play it again tomorrow. And it just kind of, it didn't give us the right amount of pacing.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah. But they don't mind it. That's luckily they didn't mind it.
Well,
But-
I tell you, I'm immensely blessed by Debbie, my God gift. We met each other 8 years ago yesterday.
Happy anniversary.
I couldn't be happier. And the first day we met, we had a game night, and she came over and she said, "I've never heard of these games, but I'll try." And we sat down to Kingsburg, and she beat us by 8 in a 5-player game. And so I had an inkling that this lady was going to be someone to keep around.
Nice.
She's a shark.
Well, Debbie is just has an amazing heart, and she also does some really cool quilting. And anytime we've played anything and she's been on, like you were doing a lot of lives, like Zoom board game nights where we were playing Wavelength and the Hive Mind, and we were all just playing, and she was involved, and she was having a blast.
Yeah,
just as much as everybody else. So it's really nice.
Well, we started it out because there wasn't much going on, and we wanted to try some things. And then you picked up and ran with the ball, and have been doing it even better than we were doing it. And it's fun to be part of.
Only because of you. It's only because of you and your help that and your encouragement that it became something more. With me doing it after every single episode or every single interview now, because it makes so much fun. It makes a lot of sense to go from talking about charities and talking about gathering at a table to the idea of, okay, let's gather at a table virtually, which is what we kind of have to do, but being able to at least enjoy everybody's company and laugh with each other.
Absolutely.
And cheer each other on.
That's what gaming's for.
It really is.
Oh, by the way, Chris, this is called a water glass.
I got
RC in mind. Very good.
I have RC in mind tonight.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I love RC. It's so good.
Okay.
Don't worry, I hydrated the whole time I was driving.
Good.
I had I forget what all. Coca-Cola, then the ice when it was melted down into water. Had that. So that was pretty good. So yeah. But no, we had a great time today, just kind of relaxing.
Good.
So you met 8 years ago yesterday. You've been married,
right? Well, no, we met.
Or you met 8 years ago.
Yesterday. Yeah. That's an amazing story I love to tell.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I thought I was going to grow old with my wife Terry. Amazing woman. And unfortunately, at age 48, she developed stage 4 colon cancer. And God gave us an additional 4.5 years after that, but she passed August 3rd, 2010. And that's losing your spouse is the worst thing that will ever happen to you. Okay, if you go in the medical literature and they measure stress scores, they base it on 100, which is losing your spouse. And I can certify that that's real. So I got more involved in my church, the Walk to Emmaus and other things. Endured getting prostate cancer and surviving that.
Amen.
But in 2012, in the summer, I was preparing to go to Gen Con, volunteer again for Calliope, and I got an email that said, at Gen Con this year, we're going to have gamer speed dating. And they sent me an email about this. I didn't know that they knew I was single, but that night when I was kneeling down in prayer, I said, God, is this from you? Do you have somebody in mind for me? And I literally verbally heard, yes. I said, okay, God. All right, well, we'll do this. So I signed up for it, and nothing much happened. But I got on, when I got back home from Gen Con, I signed up for eHarmony. And I said I wanted to meet a woman who had lost her spouse to cancer and who had a strong Christian faith. Well, Debbie had been on eHarmony for about 3 years. She had lost her husband to prostate cancer about 9 years before that. And her kids had said, you're not getting it. You're too heavy in the Christian thing. That's why you're not getting anybody but the hucksters. You might as well shut down your account. And so she did, but she told her kids, I know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to email me from a match on eHarmony, and they're going to say, you're exactly the woman I'm looking for. Well, I went on eHarmony. I put in those search criteria. Even though she had deactivated her account 3 days before, she matched first. So I wrote her an email, and I said, you're exactly the woman I'm looking for.
Okay.
We started communicating by text, and we agreed to meet at a church event at my church. It was called the Great Gospel Sing Out, where each church would put on their choir would come out and sing a song, and then we'd pass the buckets, and that money was going to mission funds. And I was the MC. And she brought her wingmen to check it out in case I was a creep. And we met at the intermission. And they decided I was all right, and then they ditched her. So after the thing was over, she texted me and said, hey, I'm in Vicksburg. My wingmen have ditched me. You want to have some dinner? I said, well, no, but I have to go grab a pizza because we're going to have game night in an hour. You want to grab some pizza and then come to game night? And that's when she proceeded to beat us all in Kingsburg.
That's awesome.
And
I think that's it's a beautiful thing, because I know I have a friend who was a widow, and I think one of the hardest things as a widow or even a widower is that loneliness. That even though, yes, you have your children, and yes, you have those relationships, there's a difference between having those feet touch under the covers, having that quiet conversation, having that being able to reach out and know that somebody's going to grab your hand. Mm-hmm. Like she recently posted something about that, because she recently married again after being a widow for so many years. And amazing guy, amazing man of God, very loving, very caring. But there's that feeling of guilt that widows and widowers have, where it's kind of like, well, should I do this again? Does it make me love that person any less? Does it? Is that what people will think of me? Those feelings of what? How is somebody going to view my relationship change to going to being married again? And
well, there's a couple points I'd like to make about that. First of all, in the Grief Share folks have a book called a year-long devotional book called Through a Season of Grief. Excellent book. And it makes the strong point there on a biblical level. It says, don't rush out to replace your spouse. Mm-hmm. If God has somebody else out there for you, he will make sure you meet them. And that's why it was so gratifying to me when God put Debbie and I together, and we have an amazing marriage. Now, we had examples of all of those possible reactions to me having a new spouse that you described in different people in my life. lost some friendships, others strengthened, some people cheering. But my closest friends heard from Terry during the last 6 months of her life. She wanted me to have somebody else. And so that's why I had none of the guilt, but I wasn't going to rush into it. I was going to find somebody that God put in my life. And I love my gamer gal. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, something else that we were having on, I just enjoy these conversations just in general, because I know I could carry on a conversation with you for hours, which
we will.
We've
got eternity to be friends.
Oh, that we will. But the one thing that we did want to talk about tonight was about Generous Hands. I'm going to put that up in here, and I'm going to quickly make it so that way people can click on it and get more information, because that is important. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Generous Hands, and I'm going to pull up the site real quick so people can see a little bit more about it. And I'm going to get that going. .org. It's generoushands.org for any of those who are interested. And I am going to do a screen share, let you all see it live so you can see it for yourself. And I'm going to let Ken talk about it. So Ken, go ahead and tell us about Generous Hands.
Tremendous group. There was a women's Sunday school group here in Vicksburg that recognized that kids who were getting subsidized meals during the week were often starving on the weekend because their parents, didn't have the money to feed anybody. All right. So they came up with a plan called Generous Hands and the Friday Pack program, where they would get the school would identify the kids in need. They'd sign them up, and the kids would be given a number. And volunteers would get together. They got lots of donated food. Area grocery stores got involved. They would put enough food for the weekend, jar of peanut butter, coupon for a free gallon of milk, coupon for a free loaf of bread, soup, other non-perishables. And they would be in numbered backpacks that were on the way out. So there was no stigma saying, little Johnny Jones doesn't get food on weekends. So it was completely kept their dignity involved, and it took off. And they had 150 kids that they were feeding. They expanded from one school to 5 schools. There are several other communities in Michigan and throughout the Midwest that have copied this program very successfully. And it's self-sustaining. Let me see. I've got some things from Paula Schremer, who was one of the original starters here. Let's see. And then it also expanded in other ways in that, for instance, during the spring lockdown, they provided school supplies to all of these kids so that they could continue to do school from home.
That's awesome.
They also threw out the application form when the COVID hit. They said, anybody who goes to these schools who's not getting food, we got them covered. There was and because of the community support for this organization, financially and volunteer hands, they were able to meet the needs of every hungry kid in South Kalamazoo County, in the area that we serve. I just can't say enough about these guys. They're phenomenal. They provide, they negotiate cents-off coupons for the summer for the families that they know are needing, so that they get food over the summer. They've made sure that they all continue to get nourishment over the course of the school year. So
that's awesome.
Pretty simple idea, and it continues to work.
Yeah,
it's simply people loving people. That's all it is.
Yeah. That's really cool. And people can donate items actually, and they recommend certain items like jars of peanut butter, applesauce cups, mac and cheese. That is a big one. You can get those Easy Mac things, and those
Mhm.
usually help out because they're easier to make for families, especially when sometimes in some situations I know in this area where maybe mom and dad aren't home and the kids have to fend for themselves.
Yeah.
So, God forbid that those times happen, but there are situations where that does happen for kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up as one of four kids in a house trailer, where boxes of macaroni and cheese were pretty common, and we got subsidized food on more than one occasion. You know, get this black and white box that looks like a Velveeta, but it's actually a cube of lard so that you could cook food. Um, been there. So I have more than enough. So we make sure that the what's more than enough gets shared.
Amen to that. Yeah, no, it's just it's a beautiful thing where a community comes together and sees a need and actually fills that need. And so I love the fact that this is here. And I'm going to put this in for everybody to be able to see. If you're interested, like I said, generoushands.org. You can actually go on there right now. You can click to donate. If you're actually in the Michigan area and are able to, you can actually volunteer as well of your time. There's different locations that are on there. It's definitely worth doing. I'll tell you that from personal experience, we help out with a thing that we call Backpack Blessings, where kids get fed, and it's because of people giving, people's donations.
I mean, this is such an easy thing. You don't need to necessarily give money so that Michigan kids get fed. Get a half dozen people. Get a half dozen teenagers, go to your school, go to your grocery store, and you'll have this going within 3 months.
Yeah, and usually also going to your grocery store, letting them know, hey, this is what we're interested in doing, and this is why we're doing it. Most of the times they'll say yes, because the worst thing that we can ever let somebody do is starve, and especially a child. Like you said, a lot of these kids will go to school. They'll get their meal at school. And it's great. They have that meal. But you also have to think about, what about the weekends? Do they have the bread? Do they have the milk? Do they have the eggs? Do they have any of these things that are going to help them out to make it through the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
In most situations, it's no.
And to them, a fruit cup of peaches is like gold.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it means so much. It means so much. Let's see here. Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to, is we can either make a decision to get involved and make a difference, or we can choose to sit and do nothing and let kids starve and let families hurt more and not be able to fend for themselves. The more we do that, the less likely they are to be able to get out of those situations and be able to use the resources that they have to go towards things that better benefit their families.
Right.
And all it takes is simply saying, hey, I'm going to go to the store. I've got something here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to donate it towards this instead. Okay. A can of goods, it runs anywhere from 49 cents to $1.50. You know, you grab a couple cans of goods, donate them to an organization that feeds people. A kid has a meal, mac and cheese. There's the off-brand Easy Mac. It's a lot more affordable and tastes just as good.
Yeah, we also have a lot of fun. About 2016, Debbie asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, "Well, if I could have anything, I'd like to have a convention." And so she invented KenCon. And in KenCon, you buy admission to KenCon with non-perishable food.
Nice.
And that gets you a ticket to win either one of my games that's come off the shelf because I don't play it anymore, or I get other game publishers to donate games, and so we have new games in shrink wrap. And you if you win a game and you're at KenCon, you take home a game.
Nice.
And that's easy. And so I get to play games all day. Kids get fed, and people get games.
That's a definite win-win.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. I need to come up for the next one then.
Well, there will be a KenCon 2021.
I look forward to it because I do look forward to a chance where we can sit down and play a game because that will be a blast. And speaking of games, that we are going to spend time tonight playing Cinder. We're going to heat things up with Cinder. It sounds funny saying that, but yeah, swiping right. We're going to swipe right on dragons and swipe left on dragons. I don't know. Is it swipe right, or is it swipe left? I don't know. So somebody let me know in the chat. So yeah. But we're going to be playing that tonight. I'm looking forward to it. But I want to especially say thank you to Ken Franklin for coming on tonight, for being able to be willing to be on just a little bit later and deal with my my driving. So
this is an educational service,
right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Chris, you got it.
Left. I got it.
See.
But yeah.
And you said reading was overrated.
It is sometimes. All right. It can be sometimes. I mean, that do not enter sign, that was definitely overrated. But no. Yeah, we will see you all actually in a little bit. Ken's going to be playing with us tonight. That'll be at 8:30 Eastern Standard. It's going to be right back here, wherever you're watching it on, whether it be Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. We're going to be doing that in a little bit. We're going to have Kurt Covert from Smirk and Dagger Games. We're going to have Kit Splaining is going to be on, joining us in the fun. We're going to have Justin playing with us as well. And actually, Justin's going to be my co-host on it. And then we're going to have Susie Dancer, who has requested specifically to play this game. And one of the things that we like to do is include people from the board game community. So if you're ever interested and you want to play with us, let us know, because guess what? That's how most of the people that are on the show got onto the show, is just because they said, I would like to play. And we really want to make that something special for you to be able to enjoy. So, Ken Franklin, I love you, man.
Hey, I love you too, Chris. I am so proud of what you are doing, how you are changing the world every week, and anything I could do to support that, you've got.
I appreciate it, brother. And one day we will change the world together. I cannot wait.
It's already happening.
I appreciate it. Let's see here. One last comment on here. Yes, join the fun. That is the truth. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of odd humor. Yeah, it is too good. But I'm going to go ahead and play us out. I'm going to wish everybody a good night. I'll see y'all later. Remember, if we can gather at the table, we can do the same for a good cause. Bye.
Bye-bye now.
We'd like to also thank The Op for sponsoring tonight's live stream. One of our favorite games for them currently is Hues and Cues, which is in stores now.